the Paris Agreement, we have had the different COP. The first COP was actually in Glasgow, United Kingdom, and then COP 28 COP 27 was held at Sharm el Sheikh. And then COP28 was just in Dubai, or was held in Dubai. And then currently, from the 11th of this month to 22nd of this month, COP29 is taking place at Azerbaijan, in the capital city of that country, Baku. Moving ahead, so now I've mentioned, at the international level, we have the United Nations Framework, Convention on Climate Change. At the continental level, we have what we call the Africa Union's Climate Change Strategy. At the regional level, we have East African Community's Climate Change Policy. Who have ever interacted with that policy by show of hand? Thank you. At the national level, now tumefika ushago, tumefika kwetu sio. So, Kanairo, we have what we call Climate Change Act of 2016. Who has ever interacted with that with that act? I have 3 hands. So that means, I'll be able to add to our list of homework. So the first homework was that book of Lawrence Susskind. Our second homework is that, we should look into, our Climate Change Act of 2016. So to just support the Climate Change Act of 2016, we have what we call, national, National Climate Change Action Plan. Who have ever interacted with that action plan by show of hand? Unfortunately, we only have 2 people. So unfortunately, we have only 2 people. Thank you. So to my list of homework, we should also add on that, National Climate Change Action Plan. Thank you. So to table this motion, following that brief introduction of this different climate change framework, our motion, ama niseme swali letu tata, the second, how do we say the second in Kiswahili? Ama tunasema inayofuatilia. Swali tata linavyofuatilia. Waswahili, tupo. Unfortunately, it seems I'm the only Swahili here. So thank you. So our second motion, it reads that, this House believes, the current global change framework is ineffective. And let's underline the word ineffective, right? And requires a complete overhaul. So at this juncture, I want to welcome the first proposer, and kindly limit yourself to 1 minute. Thank you. Do I have a proposal from the panelists?
Thank you very much. I would want to propose that motion. And my reason being that we began with the Kyoto Protocol that was signed in 1997 and entered into force in 2005, I think so. And then again, when you look at the reasons why Kyoto Protocol did not succeed, one is a participation from major emitters. They did not take part. They did not take active part in this protocol. There were also reasons of weak enforcement, which was not there. And then again, the political disagreement that existed between states. Camp Paris Agreement, which again came into effect in 2015. With the aim of reducing the global temperatures by about 2%, which mostly now we are talking of 1.5%. What has come out of all this? Is a question. Have we achieved what we wanted to achieve? When you look at the political disagreements, you look at China, one of the largest emitters in the world. But again, China doesn't want to be described as a developed country. It wants to remain as a developing country, so that it doesn't have much responsibility in the financing of climate change matter. So look at that. So what needs to be done in the world, or a radical change in the world, is to look at how all this can be collapsed into one entity, and look at how countries can come and converge at a certain point where these issues can be addressed adequately. EU already is saying, we are overburdened financing all this. US is also complaining. I think in 2023 they gave about $9.5 billion in support, but that was during Biden's time. So what will happen now with Trump coming in? Thank you.
All right, so we request, because of time, just to have one opposer. then you just allow us to wrap it at that, because we have some online participants who are having a panel after the next panel, and difference in time zone. So we just have one opposer, then you just allow us to wrap it up at that, kindly.
Given due to the emerging issues, I would like to emphasize, and also, in the spirit of fairness, I would want, to invite one opposer, just one opposer. Thank you. A lady will be fantastic. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you very much. So I'd like to oppose the motion in light of what even my colleague has said. The frameworks that have been set might have failed, but they've also set commitments that are still in place today. For example, we have the Kyoto Protocol, the UNFCCC, the Paris Agreement, which have been able to mobilize over 196 countries, which is almost all the countries, and brought them together to be able to bring up this motion. To set up the commitments that they have. So also, does a complete overhaul not risk losing the progress that has already been set by various countries? Or don't we really need to strengthen what we already have in order to promote accountability and openness among all countries in order to be able to achieve what has already been set? So a complete overhaul isn't really necessary because there's already progress ongoing. So there's a need to strengthen what we already have, the systems that we already have. Thank you.
Do not reinvent the wheel. Thank you very much.
Just to respond on this, when you look at the current agreements, you'll find that most of them, they actually benefit the wealthier nations and impose stricter regulations on African countries. So I believe it is very important as Africans, in the spirit of Pan-Africanism, to come together and have a regional strong group so that when we go to those conferences, we can actually have influence. Because at the moment, we always get the end shot of the short end of the stick, because we don't have the influence and we don't have the power. But currently, as the agreements are as at, there is not even enough accountability mechanisms or even enforcement mechanisms to hold them accountable. And that's why we still have this problem to date. Thank you.
We have to wrap it up.
Yes, thank you. I think it's a very interesting conversation that we are having, especially for the ones who are very passionate about these issues. Now, in as much as we're looking at, my sister is mentioning about the issues of compliance, so that we have treaties and laws of compliance, we need to look at the question of sovereignty, okay? Sovereignty is anchored in international law. So in most cases, you'll not find a country wanajistaki that we have not complied about A, B, C, and D. So sovereignty, the question of sovereignty has to be addressed, very objectively, so that we can make headway with regards to, compliance on these treaties or no, on whether to punish them or not. Thank you.
With as many as of the similar opinion with the opposers, say aye. With as many as of the contrary opinion with the proposers, say nay. Then we have it.